Hello, this is the second part of my presentation on the Tribulation and the Third Temple. In the last video I was talking about the idea that there's no evidence that there's going to be a 7-year tribulation. I don't think there will be. I think it's more likely to last about a year or maybe 2 years. In this video I'm carrying on talking about the temple and the idea of, is there any evidence that there'll be a third temple built, and is there any reference to it in the Bible, or is there any need for it? This is from the Catholic perspective, where they're talking about Lahey, dispensationalists who need a temple so that their Antichrist can defile it like Antiochus IV did. It says here the Antichrist desolates it near the middle of the tribulation. And so it's saying, is that true? Did Daniel, Paul, John, Jesus predict third Jewish temple? Then it goes on to explain the different words used in Greek for temples, but Jesus wasn't speaking in Greek, so he was speaking in Aramaic, so I don't think that's really relevant. So anyway, I'll go on to another text I've got. Let's check which one I just looked at. Let's see that one. Alright. Okay, this is, will there be a third temple? Like I was saying, these dispensational premillennialists need a future temple, tribulation temple, so that Antichrist can take his seat. You know, I think it's a bit ignorant really when I hear that. It kind of gets my back up when I hear these people saying the Antichrist will enter the temple of God and claim himself to be God, because it's obvious that Paul wasn't talking about a third temple. You know, they're just ignorant. They've done all this time at Bible college and they've been taught that stuff. You know, they need to go back and relearn it, because it's not correct. So I'll just scan through here. Chuck Missler is another one of these people. So just have a quick check through here. It says here the burden of proof is on the rebuilt temple advocates to come up with just one verse that unequivocally states that there will be a rebuilt temple. Since they admit that there are no Bible verses that say there is going to be a third temple, we must conclude that dispensationalism's preoccupation with a rebuilt temple is misguided. And I agree with that. So this is a bit of a study I did on the abomination that causes desolation. I've done it in my Bible code research, tried to find out what it is. When I was reading somewhere, it's saying that Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel, where he said when you see, he didn't say when they see. So he might have been referring to the people there in his audience, and he might have been thinking about the Roman incursion into to destroy the city of Jerusalem and the temple. But when you think about it, and what actually happened, I don't think that applies to that prediction, because Titus didn't do what Antiochus did. His armies destroyed the temple. And how would they know it was the abomination of desolation? He said, when you see it, take heed. And he made a different prediction about the Roman armies surrounding Jerusalem, which is what happened. People took notice of Jesus' prediction about that. So my hunch is that Jesus was talking about something else in the future, even though he uses the word you when you see. So I did a bit of research to try and figure out what it was. What I think it is it's to do with occultism and witchcraft and an occult brotherhood. And when you see that around the world, the overspreading of abominations, that's pretty much what's been happening over the last few hundred years. So it's not, in my opinion, it's not false religion. It's this cabal that runs the world, and under the scenes, secretively, but they're in control, and it's satanic and occultish, and it's the modern equivalent to magical activities. So anyway, in here it was saying, what were they saying about the this abominations in what's the word used, and it was that there, the kanap in Hebrew, because it's in Daniel, so it would have been in Hebrew, although some of it is in Aramaic. But anyway, in the King James translation, it says, I hope I'm speaking loud enough, because I keep dropping my voice and you can't be heard, but try and keep the volume up, the microphone a bit nearer. Yeah, in the King James it says the overspreading of abominations, and so they got this in other translations. They said on the wing of abominations, because the overspreading was like, it could be related to the way a bird's wings overspread. So some people have thought, well, it's going to be on the wing of a temple, but they haven't really analysed the text very carefully, see what it actually does say. It seems to be related to the holy place. In this text here, they're trying to narrow it down to say that it's an edge or a corner or a quarter edge kanap. I don't really buy this theory. It could be, but I'm not really impressed by it. They say it's the Wailing Wall, basically. That's the abomination. I don't think so. I think it's just what it says in the King James. It says it's by the overspreading of abominations. That's my theory. So where are we now? Son of Perdition. Yeah. I covered this in the other video. This is important because a lot of people use this as their foundation for building this this rebuilt temple thing. I think personally that would be a bit obvious if the Son of Perdition made this deal with the Israelis to allow them to build their temple. You know, despite the fact that they've got the Islamic Dome of the Rock up there and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and you can't even go up there without permission from the Muslims. So how on earth are they going to build a temple? Well, they say, well, the Battle of Armageddon's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my opinion, and I don't see it. I don't think we've got enough time for all that to happen. And then you've got the Antichrist signing a peace agreement, whatever it is, and then breaking it. Well, that would be like saying, "Hello, everybody, I'm the Antichrist." I think there's some possibility that we're in the last 7 significant years before the day of the Lord, but I don't think it's going to play out as it was in the time of Antiochus IV exactly. You know, the Antichrist doing this and that, and I think it's because things are going to happen as according to the Daniel timeline. but perhaps not as people have been predicting. I'm a bit. I haven't made up my mind whether there's a dispensation after the return of Christ or not. I don't know. I'll leave that to unfold, because I can't say one way or the other. It could be. I don't know. I think that's about it, really. I think I've covered everything now in these two videos. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. So just to conclude, I hope you can hear me, like I was saying, because I've had to do this video again. I want to cover the things that I'm talking about. So there you go. Yeah, so just in conclusion, what I think, it's just my opinion, but you need to have good evidence to say there's going to be a 7-year tribulation, good evidence to say that the rapture has to happen at the beginning of the 7 years. Some people say it's mid for some reason, no idea why. My opinion is that there is going to be a rapture, but it's near the end of the 7 significant years. And in my tables, I think I've derived the actual date for it. So if you're interested, go on my YouTube channel, have a look. The rapture tables. It's before the day of the Lord. And that's it. Okay, so that's everything.